Okay, I decided to do another Sudoku because I sort of stumbled on that one on giving explanations yesterday because there is a lot to Sudoku. So, because let's just open the puzzle. So you are doing not only the 9 squares, but you are doing the rows and the columns. And none of those can have duplicate numbers. Everything has to be 1 through 9, no duplicates. If you had a duplicate, then it wouldn't be 1 through 9 because there's only 9 squares available in each line, each cube, and each column. So, and then yesterday's was a little different than a lot of the easy level puzzles in that it had quite a few that didn't have but maybe 1 or 2 of the numbers, and usually it's just a little more filled out, easier. It wasn't hard by any means, it just didn't go as fast. So let's get started. All right, like I said, I usually start with the ones, and I usually go across, and then I go up and down. And when I say across, I don't mean the row, I mean in the 9 squares, so that you're doing top, middle, and bottom, or left, right, and center. So the first one, there we go, there's a 1 at the bottom. There's a 1 in the middle. So the next one needs to be on the top. And on this particular one, this particular column, there's a 1 down there. So it can't be there. So that only leaves that particular spot. Okay, second set of squares, of cubes. I'm going to call them cubes, I guess. All right, starts at the top. Then there's not any information to tell us, here and here, you would think, because there's no other ones, whether it's, these or these. However, if you look up, if you're in this one, you look up, you see this 1, you realize it can't be any of these 3 because of that 1 right there. So the 1 is going to have to go there, which means now I have a top, I have a bottom, so I have to have a middle. And the only middle left is this one. So the 1 would go there. And then on the bottom cubes, we have a top. We have nothing in the middle one. We have a middle, which means that this middle cube has to be on the bottom, and there's only 1 square open. And so there you go. And all the 1s are done. And for 2s, there's nothing on the top cubes. The second cubes have a bottom over here, a middle here, but the 2 would go on the top here, but nothing in either of these columns have a 2 in them, so we don't know which one it would go in. And in the bottom, the only 2 we have is at the bottom. And so when I look at this, I can see that so the other 2s are going to either be in the middle or the top. And on this one, on the left here, all the top is taken. So it's going to have to be in the middle, which means this one is going to have to be in the top, which is these 2, open squares here. But this one has a 2 right above it, so the 2 has to go there. So now we got top, bottom. We still have middle, but as you can see, there is nothing in any of these others that's a 2. So we don't have enough information to do that one. But let's try the up and down now. So we have a 2 on the right, a 2 on the left. So we need a 2 in the middle. But again, there's just not any information here. There's no 2s, so that doesn't work. All right, so now on the far right column of cubes, not singular column, but column of cubes, we've got a middle, we've got our left, so it's going to be on the right, but we don't have enough 2s. So again, that's not going to work. So We're not going to be able to do 2s yet. All right, so let's start with 3s. We have a 3 at the bottom. We have a 3 at the top. So we need a 3 in the middle in one of these. And there is a 3 down here, which means we can't use that one, but we can still use the one to the left and right of it. And we don't have anything else to stop us from doing that. So it's just not enough information. We don't have anything to say, oh no, you can't do a 3 there. So that's the only one. So there's 2. We don't know which ones it goes to. All right, so the next one is a 3 on the left. I'm on the right, 3 on the left, 3 on the, okay, got that. And then 3, I kind of lost where I was. All right, so now, so let me back up here. So we got a 3 on the, talking and doing it is much harder than just doing it. All right, so we got a 3 on the bottom. We got a 3 on the top. And so we need the 3 in the middle. That's right. Okay, I think that's where we were. And in this middle row of cubes, the only 3 we have is right there. So let's try the bottom one. We have one on the top, we have one on the middle, and we need one at the bottom. And one of these 2 spots are the only ones available. However, this one's not going to work because of that. So it has to be there. Which then might help us because we have a left, we have a middle, and so it's going to be a right. So that helped too. So now we have a bottom, we have a top, and now we need a middle, but we don't have a 3 showing in any of these. Wait, maybe we do. Wait, where am I? Okay. Oh, we do. Okay. So we have a bottom, we have a top, so it's got to be a middle, and there's that 3 now. So ours we have to put it there. Yeah, so is that not all the 3s yet? No, I guess not. Because so now we have a middle, we have a left, so we need a right, and over here are 2 3s. So the only one on the right that's clear is the middle one. Otherwise, you're going to run into that one and that one. You're going to duplicate those. So the 3s are done. You can see it's grayed out at the bottom as well. And then 4, don't have many of those. I see this one here. So we're going to skip those. So how about 5? Okay, so let's start with, there's a 5 in the middle, a 5 in the bottom, meaning we need a 5 at top. And the only one at top is that one. And then the next row of cubes doesn't have 5s. And the bottom row of cubes only has 1. So now we're going to go up and down. So we have the 5 that's still highlighted. And there is nothing to stop us from using all the available squares on the left and the center. So not enough info. So the next one, there's the 5. Now we do know this one is going to have to be on the right because all of these are taken. So the 5 is going to be one of these 3, which means if it is, then one of these 2 is where the 5 is going to go for the middle column. And this one is not going to be available because of this right here. So your 5 is going to be right there. Don't know yet where the 5 is going to be over here because as you can see, there's no 5s here to block any of these 3 out. And then the last one will have 5 on the left, 5 on the right, and we need a 5 in the middle. And there isn't anything. Yeah. I just saw something. I usually don't go back right over these right away again. I do another process or something, switching between cubes and rows and columns. But this just popped in my eye that we have a 5 top, 5 middle, meaning 5 is going to be in one of these bottom ones, and there's this 5 here. So this 5 is going to go here. So I did sort of back up. All right, that doesn't help me fill in this one though, because yes, 5's going to go in one of these two, but there's none over in the other two cubes. So the 2 rows of cubes, or I mean 2 cubes in this row to stop me from putting a 5 anywhere. So yeah, so let's move on to 6. All right, so we have a 6 here. We have a 6 and a 6 here. So we have a middle, a top. So we need a bottom, so that puts a 6 right there. And then on the bottom row of cubes, we have no 6s. But now we have the 6 on the left, 6 in the middle. So that means we could do 6 on the right, but we don't have anything in any of these to tell us. So yeah. So we have a 6 here, which means it's going to either be in one of those 3, or it's going to be in one of these 2, but we just don't know. And let's see, any 6 stuff here. Well, we know the 6 for this one is going to be one of these 3. Oh, nope, there's a 6 right there. So it's going to be one of these 2, which means we don't know yet. And if that's the case, then the 6 down here is going to be one of these 2. But we don't really have enough information. We could take a guess, but I don't really guess. Not unless I'm desperate. Oops, you know, I always do that. I always end up hitting something with my hand by accident. Okay, so 7 is what we're looking for next. Yeah, what I'm doing is I'm touching the one we're doing next, and then it's going to populate it wherever the yellow highlight is. Okay, so 7. Yeah, we don't have enough 7s. The only thing we have 7s for right here to know is there's a 7. Oh, wait, no, there is 2 7s. There's a 7 here and a 7 here. So it can't be that or that because of this and that. So that means we are going to have a 7 right there. Right? Yes. See, it's done, done, done. Okay. And then 7, there's not any over here. And then 7 is 7. So 7 top, 7 bottom means this has got to be 7 in the middle. All right. And going from that direction, we already did that one. These have got to be this direction. These have got to be on the right because that's the only thing that's available. And this on the left, that means the other 7 is going to go in the center. And because there's a 7 right there, then it's going to be that one because that one can't be used. And then finally 7 left, 7 right, and we need another 7 center. One of these 2 center squares. And there's that blocking this one. So it leaves only that one. All right, so now we got a 7 bottom, a 7 top. We need a 7 in the middle. And that's the end of our 7s. So our next number is 8. 8 bottom, 8 middle. We need 8 on top. We have 2 squares available on the top, but this one is not available because of that 8. So our 8 will have to go there. Then we have 8, 8, and 8 already done for us. And we only have 1 down here. And so this is going to have to come out of a middle row here. And there's 3 options. However, we have an 8 there that blocks that, an 8 there that blocks that. So the only 8 place left to put an 8 is right there, which means we have a middle, we have a bottom, so we need a top, and there's only 1 left on the top row in the cube. So that's all the 8s. All right, let's do 9. Okay, 9 is done here because there's a top, middle, and bottom. Next row of cubes, there is a 9 in the middle, a 9 in the bottom. We need a 9 in the top. There's 2 different squares available. However, this one isn't really available because there's a 9 here. So we're going to have to put our 9 there. And that's the end of our 9s. So what we have left are 2, 4, 5, and 6. Let's see if there's any of these cubes that look pretty easy to finish. So we have 1, 2, 3. So we need a 4 in here. And when I look here, 4 doesn't stop anything. There, well, what I mean by that is there's no 4 to stop me from there's no 4 to prohibit me from using a particular square. So they're both available for a 4, as they are a 5. And then, of course, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are already there. So that wasn't a good one. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Again, we need 4 and 5. Not good. All right, so 1, we need a 2. And there's a 2 right there. So our 2 has to go there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that will be our 5. Again, in the middle, so that doesn't really help us with this so much. So we have to go back to that. All right, so 1, 2, 3. There's no 4s up above, so nothing's blocking us. 5, okay, 6. All right, there is a 6, meaning that can't be a 6, so this has to be a 6, leaving this as a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, could be either 1, 5, now 6. Okay, these two could be a 6, although there's a 6 there, so that leaves only that one as a 6, meaning 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the bottom, very bottom row is all filled in but 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's going to be a 6, 7, 8, 9. Which this makes this column now needing a 2 as well. And then this needs 1, 2, 3, a 4. When you get to where there's only 1, I mean, it's pretty simple. All right, let's try here. So 1, we need a 2. Can't have a 2 because of this one and because of this one, so that's definitely not a 2. That could be a 2. That cannot be a 2 because of this. So our 2 is right there. So 1, 2, 3. So now we need a 4 and a 6 because there's a 5. So can't do 6 here, so this has to be a 6, which means this has to be the 4. So now we have another complete, almost complete 3. These 3 rows are here. Each have just 1 missing, so that's easy. 1, that's a 2. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, missing a 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And that puts us here with only 1 missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's got to be a 5, right? Yep, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we got another one. 1, 2, 3. That's a 4. And notice how when I put this 4 in, it's only 1 4 here, and it's only 1 in this direction, up, and down, and in the cube. Remember, just 1. The letter or the numbers only once per line, per row, per column, and per cube. All right, so now we got this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. The missing one is a 5. Here we got 1, 2, 3. Missing one is a 4. And here we have 1, 2. There's 2 left, but there's a 2. So that's a 2, which means the only thing left is a 4. Thanks for watching. I hope its music isn't too frightening when it comes up. It always surprises me if my phone's up very high.